Skip logic allows you to send respondents to various parts of the survey based on their responses to questions or defined variables. In this survey, we're asking respondents about their experience using video streaming services. I've already created the basic survey structure with multiple choice questions and survey endings. Now we want to add skip logic to route respondents to the appropriate parts of the survey. Since we only want to interview people that use streaming services, I will skip those that don't to a survey ending. We'll add logic by clicking the Add button below the usage question. It's important that the logic be placed after the question the logic will reference. If logic is placed before, it will run without having any response input. This means the software won't be able to skip the respondent. They will just continue to the next question. A skip logic element is placed in the survey flow. Skip logic is easy to create with the use of a few dropdowns. The element starts out with one logic statement, with the ability to add more if needed. The first dropdown allows us to set the type of logic statement. The two types available are if and always. If statements will skip respondents based on specified criteria, such as if they selected a specific response, whereas always will skip respondents no matter the selections they made in prior questions. In this case, we will use the default if. Next, we'll select the data source for our skip logic. In this case, we'll select the usage question from our survey. The next dropdown is the operator menu. Operators are used to compare or assign values and/or perform operations. They work just like operators in mathematics and most programming languages. The operators available in the operator menu vary depending on the data source you have chosen. The available operators for a multiple choice question are includes any, does not include any, is answered, or is not answered. Other question types will include a variation of these. Includes any means that if a respondent selected any of these options, they will be skipped. Does not include any is the reverse. If they don't select one of the items, they will be skipped. Is answered refers to whether the respondent provides an answer to the question. This is useful when a question is not required or used to determine whether the respondent even saw the question, as it may have been skipped by some other logic. And of course, is not answered is the inverse of that. Other question types may include more or less operators than the ones we just looked at. Be sure to check out our help documentation to read up on all the available operators for logic building. To continue building our logic, we'll use the includes any operator. Next, we need to specify the values of the question or variable to be evaluated. For our purposes, we'll select the response option, No, to filter out respondents that said they do not use video streaming services. The last dropdown is used to tell the software where respondents should be skipped. We'll specify that we want them to be skipped to the disqualified ending. As a review, this logic statement will take respondents that do not use streaming services and skip them to the disqualified survey ending. Respondents that do not fit this logic, those that do use streaming services, will go to the next question in the survey flow. It's important to test the survey to ensure the logic was built correctly. I'll publish the survey and take it. This time, I'll respond that I don't use streaming services. After clicking Next, I'm taken to the survey ending, since I do not fit the acceptance criteria. I'll open the survey again. Now, I'll respond that I do use streaming services. After clicking Next, I will be taken to the next question in the survey. Skip logic can become much more complex than this. In the survey, I've created a few more questions. We ask respondents which services they use and what devices they use. We can combine these into one statement that skips people if they use a Disney-owned app, and then send them to a different section of the survey depending on which device they use most. Skip logic is a critical part of many surveys. It allows you to guide respondents through the survey and only show what's applicable to them. This is Skip Logic in Discover.